The purpose of our trials. I'm going to start off reading from James chapter 1 verses 2 through 4. Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. So, one reason why we face trials is to test our faith. We can only please God through our faith, as is written in Hebrews chapter 11, verse 6. But without faith, it is impossible to walk with God and please Him. For whoever comes near to God must necessarily believe that God exists and that He rewards those who earnestly and diligently seek Him. So, whenever we are going through a trial, we must know that God is going to get us through it. We must know that we will come out on the other side victorious because of Him. And it doesn't matter what it is or how long the trial is. The trial is producing perseverance, which is what we need to endure to the end. As is written in Matthew 24, verse 13. But the one who endures and bears up under suffering to the end will be saved. Perseverance is not giving up. The continued effort to do or achieve something despite difficulties, failure, or opposition, according to Merriam-Webster Dictionary. Because the Most High wants us to endure to the end, we have to have perseverance, and it's produced through our trials. Once we make it through the trial, not only do we have a strengthened perseverance, but our faith grows as well. And we have more trust and confidence in God, as well as Him in us. That is how we become mature and complete and lack nothing. During the trials, if we feel weary, we can always just take it to Him, because He knows what's going on within us anyway. He just wants us to open up to Him, be vulnerable, and honest within ourselves. And as in James 1, 5 through 7 states, if any of you lack wisdom to guide him through a decision or a circumstance, he is to ask of our benevolent God, who gives to everyone generously and without rebuke or blame, and it will be given to him. But he must ask for wisdom and faith, without doubting God's willingness to help. For the one who doubts is like a billowing surge of the sea that is blown about and tossed by the wind. For such a person ought not to think or expect that he will receive anything at all from the Lord, being a double-minded man, unstable, and restless in all his ways. In everything he thinks, feels, or does. So to sum it up, know that our trials are to strengthen us and our relationship with the Most High. When we are in the habit of trusting God through our trials, we strengthen our perseverance, and our ability to make it to the end is increased. If you're unsure of what to do in your trial, just go to the Most High and ask Him to guide you. He will each step of the way. Just know and believe that He will without a doubt. And He will. An example we can learn from is in Matthew chapter 14, beginning at 22. Immediately, He directed the disciples to get into the boat and go ahead of Him to the other side of the Sea of Galilee while He sent the crowds away. After He had dismissed the crowds, He went up onto the mountain by Himself to pray. When it was evening, He was there alone. But the boat by this time was already a long distance from the land, tossed and battered by the waves, for the wind was against them. And in the fourth watch of the night, Yeshua came to them walking on the sea. When the disciples saw Him walking on the sea, they were terrified and said, "It is a ghost." And they cried out in fear. But immediately He spoke to them, saying, "Take courage, it is I, don't be afraid." And Peter replied to Him, "Lord, if it's really You, command me to come to You on the water." He said, "Come." So Peter got out of the boat and walked on the water and came towards Yeshua. But when he saw the effects of the wind, he was frightened, and he began to sink, and he cried out, "Lord, save me." Immediately Yeshua extended His hand and caught him, saying to him, "O you of little faith, why do you doubt?" And when they got into the boat, the wind ceased. Then those in the boat worshipped Him with awe-inspired reverence, saying, "Truly You are the Son of God." So, for Peter's trial in that moment, because we go through many trials, but in that circumstance, Peter had to first overcome his fear of thinking that Yeshua was a ghost. Because initially they thought He was a ghost. They're like, in the middle of the night, this guy is just walking on water like it looked like a ghost to them. So that caused fear in them. Then the doubt of it really being Yeshua, even after He told him, "It's Him, don't be afraid." And then his fear of what was happening around him as he was on the water going towards Yeshua. I mean, he was doing fine when he first tested the Spirit, by him asking, like, "If that's really You, command me to come out to You." He was trying it out, to see if it was real. And that's okay. Sometimes people have to do that. I mean, look at Thomas. He was like, I hear what y'all saying, but I'm not going to believe until I see for myself. So, in that moment when Peter went out on the water, he was doing good. He was actually walking on the water just like Yeshua was. But then, because the winds were so crazy out on the water, he gave too much thought to what was going on around him. And then with that, him giving too much energy to those things that was happening around him, fear and doubt crept in. And that's when he began to sink. That's what the enemy does. He causes things on the outside to look like, a certain thing isn't happening really, or causes us to have some type of doubt for whatever reason. We just have to stay focused on God. We have to stay focused on Yeshua during our trials. And then we'll make it through. Remember, the trials are to make you stronger. To make not only you stronger, but your relationship with the Most High stronger as well. Just like it's written in Romans 8:28. And we know for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to his purpose. So, as long as we stay focused on God through our trials, we'll be all right. Just keep believing in the words that is written, that he told you, the proof that you received through other experiences that you've made it through. You got to bring those things back to remembrance. It doesn't matter how small it was. You fell, and it's like, oh my goodness, I sprained my ankle, or I can't go to work, I don't want to lose my job. And then, it was all was well. Your ankle might have been hurt that, one day, but then the next day it started feeling better. You was able to go back to work. I mean, that's a little trial right there. You had a little doubt. You thought like, oh, it was going to affect your work, but it didn't. You thought like, what? My ankle is hurting, but God, I'm trusting in you to make it better so that I could be able to get back to work. And then it happened. So even something as small as that, when you need to, if you need to, bring it back to remembrance. Every little thing that you've overcome, So, yeah. Know that it's important for us to go through trials so that we can be strengthened and be able to endure to the end. And that is your rules for today. Peace and blessings. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you.